wanting to change the way we look at first-person games. I mean, we're sort of traditionally it's a gun and you move around and you shoot people, and we've kind of forgotten the person part of first person. We wanted to look at that again, look at the kind of physicality of being a person, kind of experiencing being in that body, and that's why we started to look at having this full-bodied experience with the complete body, the legs, the arms, everything, and actually changing the way you interact with the world as well. The first most important thing to mention is to say, it's not like science fiction, it's nothing like that. What we've basically done is we've looked at the world and we've looked at the things that are happening in the world today, and we've kind of like extrapolated them a little bit and kind of condensed them down and created our own city, our own modern urban landscape, basically. It's a nice city, it's a nice place to live, but it's very, very controlled, it's very ordered. So we're not talking 1984 here, it is a pleasant place to live and people are happy, but they've had to give up certain freedoms. And the game is kind of about one person and a group of people that didn't. You can look at other games in first person. A traditional thing is saying, oh, jumping in first person is always crap. It isn't. It's just not that game's focus. If it's a shooter, of course they're not focusing on jumping. I mean, it just depends what you're building. And so, but yeah, I mean, we've certainly looked at other games for influence, both third-person games like Prince of Persia, for example, or first-person games as well, like Breakdown. The movement itself informs the direction that we took with the look of the game as well. So, Faith has the kinds of abilities you'd expect. I mean, she can, do sort of run up walls, grab hold of them, shimmy along them, climb up, vault herself over. But the important thing with her is that her movements are momentum-based and controlled. So she can, she builds speed. It's not like 0 to 100 in a second when you push forward. You need to build and try and maintain that momentum that you're creating, and the faster you're going, the better flow you'll be able to create, and the faster you'll be able to negotiate the obstacles in the game. That movement and that need to be able to look at your environment and quickly see things, like see opportunities that see movements, see places that you can get across. That inform the art direction as well. It's white, it's clean, it's it's sterile, it's there's something unpleasant about that kind of that cleanliness and that sterility. But the brighter colours are popping out. They're sort of they're leading her in certain directions. They're driving her to use her moves and highlight certain objects and things that she can interact with. And we do have armed combat. There are guns in the game. She just doesn't always need to use them. So, for example, you can disarm all of the enemies, their weapons. You can take their guns. You're limited in the number of bullets that you've got in the clip as well. So we kind of view those things more as like a kind of temporary power-up that might help you get out of a tight spot, rather than something that you're going to pick up and carry around with you, because it does impede you and your movement. And then there's obviously her melee as well, of which the disarm is one aspect, and that works in a similar way to the movement, that it's context-based. In terms of the gameplay and the structure, we don't just sort of drop you in a massive city and say off you go anywhere. It's not an open world game, but there's a lot of choice within the different routes and paths and options that are available to you within the environment itself. We don't want you stopping halfway through and saying, you know what, I'm going to deliver 10 pizzas, or some sort of random side quest. We want, it's Faith's story, the game, and we want to move you through it. We're certainly interested in getting the game into people's hands, because I think it's about feeling it. It's about feeling how it feels to play and to move and have that kind of through the character experience.